The following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board meeting, June 22nd, 2021.
Okay. Oh, I didn't put this down. I don't need mine up, do I? Okay.
Judy, are you recording? Do I need anything?
It's already on the
Okay.
board. All right. Thank you all very much for coming. And this is just opening of the regular White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board meeting. Today is Tuesday, June 22nd. It's 4 p.m. Kurt, would you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do you have anybody on yet?
Nobody on Zoom yet.
Okay, roll call, Judy. It looks like three of us here, the three board members, and Brian will be calling in. And I believe that.
Ian will also be zooming in when he gets back from Cherry Creek. He said he was driving.
Okay. Public comment. Let's start off. Oh, hi, Owen. Come on in. Come on in.
Hi, Carol.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
How are you? Hi.
So at this time, Mr. Reed,
Yes.
we go ahead.
So, my mistake on not getting this as an agenda item, but since it is a kind of report on our insurance, what we'd like to do is give you the 3 minutes of public comment. And then if there is more to be done, then maybe your partner could yield their 3 minutes of public comment to talk further. Or we could finish it up with public comment at the end. But I've got your printout that Denise sent that has the information about this year's insurance.
Sure.
And so the board can go with it, follow along with you. But if that's okay with you, again, I apologize for not getting it on the agenda in time.
Sure.
But we still want to know what's going on with our insurance. And we know we've got a bill to pay starting the fiscal year. So,
Okay.
So is there a handout for us?
yeah. So this is what I printed out.
Okay, so we all have to have them.
I know I only printed
Yeah.
out one.
Okay,
I only
okay.
printed out
I'll
one.
just listen, and
Okay.
we'll get that. Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Tom, Carolyn, board members, this is my son Taylor. I'm
Taylor.
Alan
Nice to
Reed
meet you, Taylor.
with Warren Reed Insurance. Let me ask this. So
It's okay.
we go 3 minutes, and then at the end,
3 minutes, 3 minutes.
3 minutes, 3 minutes.
You're on the spot, Taylor.
This is, he's kind of jumping into this. I said, you need to learn how to do some of this stuff. He's been with me 6 years, so, let me, why don't I fire up then? Okay. All right. So, let me just tell you a little bit about, White Pine County Board of Tourism and the insurance program. This is the insurance program through the Nevada Public Agency Insurance Pool, who you've been with for many years, and this is the renewal plan that comes this year. And since we only have a few minutes, so let's just be real quick about this. And for those that don't know us, a little bit about the pool. It's a company that specializes in public entities. So there's a number of carriers that are involved, government entities, mutual, a company called Public Risk Mutual, and a company called County Reinsurance Limited, who are not common names from an insurance standpoint, but they're common names in the public entity and special district world. These companies provide coverage for you. Those three companies that I just listed, the pool has a financial interest in those companies, okay? Also, as well, you own the pool. You own this company. You're not only clients, but you're owners of this, okay? When we talk, let's just talk quickly about the program then. If you go to the back page, page 10 of that report that says, there's a comprehensive report in here that talks about just about everything in the Nevada Public Agency pool. But when we talk about this account, we want to talk about the cost, okay? And just to give you an idea, The premium this year is $12,723, up from $12,179. That's a 4% increase over the previous years. Right in line and actually underneath what most of the pool accounts are renewing at. There's 131 public entities in this organization, and White Pine Board of Tourism is one of those. That is the property and casualty program. There's a summary in the very back. We also want to mention workers' compensation because that's an additional plan that you have. Those base rates have increased approximately 8.9% over last year, but you had a 3% improvement in your experience modification from 0.97 to 0.94. So you probably see about a 5 or 6% uptick in there. Workers' comp is billed every quarter, and your new quarter doesn't start until October 20th, but we do mention it, so you have an idea of it. I'm being as fast as I can.
You're doing great.
Hopefully that,
you're good.
Hits the end. Let's see. You want to say something? Sure.
Are you going to be taking over for Alan's position?
No.
You're not retiring young anytime soon, are you?
I am never retiring,
Okay.
unless they haul me out and you and I start doing dirt biking together. I'll throw mountain biking.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
You don't have to twist my arm.
Yeah. So, but Taylor is. You can maybe touch bases a little bit on it. It's a broad program. You should really read the packet there because the State of the Union report is 10 pages long. And then there's all kinds of graphs about where you've been, where you're going, what your exposures are in terms of property coverages. You have about $2.6 million worth of property insured with this building, some contents, and don't we have an annex?
There's another building.
Okay, and another building. And maybe he can fill in some blanks that I left out.
Sure. A couple of the benefits that Pool offers that you are more than capable of taking advantage of are some of the grants that Pool has. They've got $1.4 million set aside that's available for any type of risk reduction program that you want to see happen in your organization. So it's a program that you apply for ahead of time before implementing any type of risk reduction program, which could include installing alarm systems or security fencing outside of projects. Or
does that include security cameras and monitoring systems?
Yep.
So any county entity that belongs to Pool Pack.
Can't ask them to do a full pack, sorry.
But yes, they would apply. You apply through their website. If you have a hard time locating the application, you can always contact our office and we can walk you through the process. But it is $1.4 million. That's money that's set aside every year for any type of risk reduction program. So anything really, security cameras, alarm systems, security fencing. We've seen pools as in swimming pools, put in new diving boards, things that just are going to mitigate any type of future losses. That's something that money is available to you for. So there's that. There's also a lot of larger insurance programs offer things like employee assistance programs. Pool does offer that. So if you have employees or if you've got employees that are struggling with addiction issues or gambling issues or domestic issues, stress-related issues, you can take advantage of that. That's another resource that Pool has that's available to any of the 13,000 public entity employees out there. Let's see, that's pretty much the two things that I was going to highlight. And included in your packet, you'll see if you want to, if you're curious on what the programs look like for you specifically over the last 10 years, on page 10, I believe, of the pamphlet, you'll see a 10-year look back that shows not only your specific costs for Pool, but also your total insured value, what all the buildings and contents have been insured at over the 10 years, as well as your payroll. So payroll is primarily the driver of the premium. You've seen a slight reduction or a slight increase in payroll this year, which probably equates to that 4% increase. But your total insured value for all buildings and contents has gone up considerably since 2013, whereas the insurance costs have, there's been a little bit of increase over the last couple of years, but you'll see that when you look at those graphs side by side, you're getting a lot more insured for the amount that you're paying. You'll see that there's not really a correlation between those two graphs, which is good for any of the pool members.
Okay, and I think we'll close it at that. And then, is there any more public comment? George?
Yes, ma'am.
And is Brian on?
Brian is on the Zoom
So
call
if
now.
you can come a little bit closer, your voice is a little lower, George. Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Madam Chairman, I've yet to see any reports from those that have received monies through aid organization grants from the Tour and Rec Board. The reports are required so that tracking or on progress, can be evaluated and assessed. Are the organizations failing to comply? This makes the third time I've made the request, the first being April 27th, 2021, and then again May 25th, 2021, and then again today. If the organizations are not complying, all funding needs to be denied and stopped until compliance is made. This board has a fiduciary responsibility and it appears you're failing. I can't understand why some answers can't be given. Madam Chairman, on your list of bills to be paid, I keep seeing a payment to Public Employees Benefit Program. In this case, check number 10356 for PEBP for Doris Lawler. She's been gone for years. So again, I want to know what's going on and why are we making that payment. Madam Chairman, on your agenda item 4H, you're to consider the awarding of capital improvements and outdoor facility grants. Many of the requests have nothing to do with tourism and should be funded by private organizations. In the case of the Chamber, the City of Ely for the retaining wall, the Nevada North, the Nevada Northern Railway is a private group, and that group spends hundreds of thousands of room tax dollars and does not operate under the Nevada Open Meeting Law, so the public can see how that money is spent. I remind you, Mr. Bassett manages the railroad and his wife manages the books. Flagrant, intentional nepotism. You can't continue that. The County Commission needs to address the needs of the golf course. The Justice Center mural has nothing to do with tourism. They want a mural, let them pay for it. The McGilltown security cameras, that's a County Commission issue, as well as the McGill LED street lighting conversion phase 3. And the Renaissance Society has no business competing against the private sector with a kitchen. No, they want to put in a kitchen, they do it on their own, and they shouldn't be coming before this board or any other government entity asking for money. They're competing against the private sector that needs to stop. Madam Chairman, on your agenda item 4.2 regarding the updated ski resort, I am again requesting a copy of the report of a consultant that was paid, that was paid with room tax monies and not a private group or an individual. That report is a public document. Madam Chairman, I've yet to see you put an agenda item on the meeting agenda to retract the support for locating a park next to Love's. National studies state that you do not build or place a park near a truck stop. Locally, we have one schoolgirl that went missing back on April 4th, 2003. Just recently, we had an incident where a truck driver enticed in some way or abducted the young person, assaulted that young girl, and then abandoned her on the road north of McGill, from what I've heard. Luckily, she wasn't murdered. Luckily for her, a local person saw the young girl and the truck driver leave together and reported it to the sheriff's office. We need to learn from these experiences and safeguard that it does not happen again. NRS states that you cannot have gaming or liquor within 1,000 feet of a school. The city and the county are failing miserably in that endeavor, and they need to be in compliance. Madam Chairman, I've yet to receive any information in regards to if any of the Tour and Rec Board members are on the Nevada Northern Railway Foundation Management Board. That request is months old, and I'd like an answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chachis. Any more public comment? Hearing none, we'll move to new business. Number 4A, discussion and for possible action items for approval of the agenda, including removal of agenda items. Are there any removals at this point? I'll entertain a motion to accept it as it is.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Kurt and seconded by Marietta. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? Any nays?
Nope.
Motion carries, thank you. And then, item B, discussion and for possible action, approval of the minutes, May 25th, 2021. And if you could go into your packet, if we could just take a quick look at those. It's as 4B on here, and these are all up here for you to take, if you're so interested or entertained. Are there any additions or corrections on these minutes? Mr. Chachas, did you look at them?
I did. I had one correction, which I gave you, Judy.
Okay, you've already taken care of. And what is that?
Page 5, second sentence up. I was again regarding the item, I was repeating the comment. I did not hear anything referencing or pulling your support from the Heritage Park. It implies that I'm supporting that, then I am not. That needs to be pulled or withdrawn. I can't remember which word I used, but I don't want it to imply that I was for it when I am not.
Okay, yes, thank you for pointing that out. So, any other corrections other than what Mr. Chachas noted on his public comment? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion that includes the minutes as they are with the correction that Mr. Chachas has requested.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Kurt, seconded by Marietta. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you for that, George, because it
You're welcome.
really did sound like you were for it. All right, the next one is discussion only review of the financial reports, and so these are up here, and they're kind of interested to see where we are financially. So if you want to come up and get them, and they're 4C is what there are. There's 3 documents, and just follow along. The Reeds are from Douglas County, and so they've experienced different things than we have here with the pandemic. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, does everybody have their items?
So the one that I noticed is missing in the packet is the year-to-date, and I thought because that other one was folded up, so I've got Errol right now going and grabbing that one and making copies, so.
Okay.
But we'll go over just the room tax collected for the month. So this is the room tax report for May 2021. So next month we'll get the final month report for the fiscal year. But what this shows is that for the hotel motels, we collected $189,095.72. For the RV parks and campgrounds, we collected $16,025.72 for a total of $205,121.44. Absolutely. Thank you. For the month of May. So how that breaks down in distribution is Tour and Rec kept $130,030.65 for our budget. The railroad received $30,388.36. The city of Ely received $32,889.64, and the golf course received $6,114.97. So if you go to the next sheet, which is our room tax revenue comparison report, what you'll see is that we were up 108.9% from where we were in May this time last year. Now we know May of this time last year was still one of those months where things were falling apart. I believe when we looked at the year-to-date comparison last year to the 2019, it was about a 60% decrease in what had happened. So when we go back to 2019 and look at those room tax numbers, we're actually up 19% this month than where we were this same time collection for May in 2019. So essentially we're up 19% pre-COVID numbers for the month of May. So with one more month to report, right now we're about 9% over what was where we were at this time last year. So room tax numbers looking good. No surprise, we kind of saw that trend happening. Now, if you go to the folded sheet, and again, this is just more for, periodic board updates and reports. This just shows where our hotels are in their room tax for calendar year. So starting in January, going to May for what we have, so you can actually see which hotels are doing what. We've also got the city Airbnbs included in there as well. So it really just kind of reinforces the data that was in the other one. So the year-to-date budget, and again, I apologize for not getting this one in. One thing or another slips, but looking at it right now, we have an operating surplus of $23,379.32. We augmented our budget last month to go ahead and accommodate for all of the expenses that we had. There were a few line items that after that came in, we still ended up showing that we were a little over than what we had budgeted for minusculely, so we've checked with the state to make sure that there aren't going to be any kind of penalties or anything in regards to that. But the important thing is that the community marketing campaign that we did augment, we have enough money to go ahead and finish out the year with our marketing campaigns, and that is where a lot of the expenses from the grant matches come from. So that's good, because I know we're wrapping up a bunch of grants here at the end of the year. So nothing out of the ordinary. It's just essentially we're 110% over what we had estimated for room tax collection in the city. We're 118% of what we thought we were going to collect for the county. For center events, and we knew that we were going to be taking a hit in center events, we're at 67% what we had projected. And for grant reimbursements, we're 332% because of how much COVID relief money came through. So those are kind of the updated reports for where we're at year-to-date budget. Any questions?
And again, just to recognize that our budget from last year, we had severely cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we have to recognize we didn't just carry forward a regular budget. So,
Yeah.
It's going to take us a few years to get apples to apples.
Correct. So that was with the 17% cut that we projected, and so it's nice to know that we did better than we thought.
It is nice indeed. All right, thank you. Let's go ahead at item D, discussion and for possible action to ratify bills. And again, 4D is the area, and I would like to disclose that I have an interest in Bath Lumber, so I'll be voting on this agenda item. The Bath Lumber bill is separated out, and that I will be abstaining on that. So if we could take a look at this 4D on our, where we are on everything with this. And starting in our budget, we have added some hours for our person that is going to be that does all the maintenance. We were over on the hours and kicked it into the benefits, and so we've gone ahead. So we'll see an increase starting July 1, and then also some more coverage at the convention center to help with that. So it's working out very well to have a visitor center there. It's a great idea. So are there any questions on the bills? And your comments so noted, George. Thank
Okay, I got
Yeah.
another comment in looking at this.
you. Sure.
I notice on local radio stations, one is left out. You need to throw them a bone a little bit too.
So we do actually advertise with Kay Ely. Anytime they call us for graduation, Christmas, 4th of July, they do advertising suites for special times a year, and we always take advantage of that. So,
Okay, that's fine, but for the events coming up, just throw them a little bone. Doesn't have to be as big as this one here for the other one.
Yep. No, and that's something that we make sure, that anytime Kay Ely calls, with a marketing or advertising opportunity, that we support them as well.
Well, I'm sure you get calls from the other place too, so.
Right. Okay, thank you, so noted. All right, I'll entertain a motion on ratifying of the bills.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay checks 10350 through 10394, less the Bath Lumber in the amount of $178,054.32.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions regarding, any more questions as far as the payables? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Get the money out. And I believe they're all signed, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so then the next one is on the,
The back lumber bill.
yes, the Bath lumber bill, which is item D for possible act, or excuse me, E for possible action, approve to pay the bill to Bath lumber.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay check 10364 in the amount of $395.60 to Bath Lumber.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to pay the Bath lumber bill. Any other comment? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And you
And I will abstain, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to page 2, and that is item F, and that's discussion and for possible action, approval of the interlocal agreement for HR services with the county. And just want to say that we have been in, this is a renewal of this agreement, and this has been a wonderful experience. We're just real sorry Mr. Bunch is taking another job in Phoenix. And so they'll be advertising for that position. So would you like to explain this?
The HR services has been great to have. We've made sure that if there was anything that was missed or left out from a file keeping standpoint, Tim's been great at making sure that everything is on the up and up and everything like that. We've been using the pool pack training online. Tim has been relentless about making sure that we've been taking those classes, so we've been doing all of those, and if there's ever been any kind of questions or anything like that, he's always been responsive. So I think this is good security for the board, for the staff. It's a necessary thing that we offer, so with nothing changing in the agreement other than who the HR person is going to be, I think this is something we approve.
So we can get that on the agenda for next month, pay that bill, get that done.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, and assume Warren Reed's also. All right, so looking for a motion to approve the interlocal agreement for HR services with the county, White Pine County.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the Human Resources Service Agreement from White Pine County.
And I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none,
Aye.
motion carries. Thank you. Item G, this is discussion and for possible action, volunteer services agreement 2021-2022 between Turin Rec Board and the Chamber of Commerce. Kyle, would you like to?
Yep. So this is also another contract that has been around for a number of years. What we do is, if we ever need volunteers for tour and rec events, so this would be the community breakfast, race the rails, Christmas stuff, fire and ice, wherever we need volunteers, instead of us running around trying to hustle them, we contact Wayne, and Wayne finds the volunteers. Now we do pay the chamber. This is a contribution to the chamber. It's relatively low, so I believe that it's a $350 charitable contribution for the chamber for each event. But with there only being about 3 events during the year that we utilize this for, it's not really that big of an expense. I feel like having no or less volunteers than what we need would be more of a burden, than the cost. So again, since the precedent's already been set, I would recommend approving.
Thank you. Just waiting for a motion to approve this.
I'll move to approve.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, item H, this is discussion and for possible action, awarding of capital improvement and outdoor facility grants. So this is going to take everybody to get their papers out, and this happens once a year that we award these, and we also award for aid organization, we did that a couple of months ago to support all of our organizations. So in the past, it used to be that this room was filled and overflowing and people had to present their case and it was long and it was very difficult. And so we go, it's hard because they're all volunteers, and so we go on the merits of the grant and then contact everyone if there's a question on it, except, what is it, we try and go out and look at them.